Today, I'll show you how to allow multiple responses in Google Forms. Before we begin, there's one important thing to understand. In Google Forms, people can usually submit more than one response unless the form owner turns on a restriction. Google says the setting called Limit to One Response controls this. When that setting is turned on, respondents must sign in and can submit only one time. So, if you want to allow multiple responses, the main step is to make sure that restriction is turned off. To get started, open your Google form and go to the Settings tab at the top. Then look for the Responses section. Google's official help says this is where you can manage whether the form collects email addresses, sends response receipts, edits after submit, and limits users to one response. If limit to one response is turned on, switch it off. Once that setting is disabled, people can submit the form more than once. Now here's something helpful to know. If you turn off the one response limit, people may be able to submit again by reopening the form after they finish the first submission. In many cases, Google Forms will show a link that says Submit another response, especially when the form stays open for more entries. That makes it easy for someone to send multiple submissions without needing a completely different form. There's also one trade-off to keep in mind. Google says the limit to one response option requires people to sign in with a Google account. So if you turn that restriction off, your form becomes easier to submit multiple times, but you may also have less control over preventing duplicate entries. That can be useful for surveys, registration forms, or repeated feedback forms, but it may not be ideal for quizzes or voting forms where you want only one answer per person. If you still want to identify repeat submissions, one practical option is to turn on Collect Email Addresses while leaving Limit to One Response turned off. That way, people can submit more than once, but you'll still have their email attached to each response if your form settings allow it. Google lists both of these settings in the same form settings area. So, in simple terms, open your form, go to Settings, find Limit to One Response, and make sure it is turned off. That is the main Google Forms setting that allows multiple responses from the same person, and that's how to allow multiple responses in Google Forms. Hope the tutorial was helpful. Subscribe to my channel and see you in the next video.